know there's a secret behind forgetting important things and remembering the things with minor importance? Today, we're tackling a universal struggle that unites us all, the art of forgetting. Whether it's blanking on someone's name mid-conversation, walking into a room and forgetting why you're there, or accidentally calling your boss mommy. Have you ever called your boss mommy? Oh my gosh, that's another level of forgetfulness. In a world where we're constantly bombarded with information, notifications, and endless to-do lists, our brains are like overstuffed filing cabinets. Sometimes things just slip through the cracks. But here's the thing. Forgetting doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you more of a human. Hey everyone. Welcome back to Fluent English Pod, where we help you train your mind to think in English and speak fluently. I'm Dave with our co-host Emma.
Hey, we're so glad you're here. Whether you're listening on your way to work, while making dinner, or just winding down for the day, thanks for spending this time with us.
Whether you are a new listener or a long-time one, we welcome you to our English podcast. Let's hear our today's topic.
Together, we're here to talk about the art of remembering and, more importantly, the art of forgetting. So, join us as we dive into the hilarious, awkward, and oh-so-relatable moments of memory fails, share some tips to recover gracefully, and maybe even laugh at ourselves along the way. Because let's face it, life's too short to take forgetting too seriously.
Oh, forgetting is an art form. I've mastered it. Like that time I forgot my best friend's birthday and accidentally texted him, "Happy anniversary."
Dave, that's not an art form. That's a disaster. But hey, we've all been there. Today, we're diving into those awkward moments when your brain just blanks. Like when you forget someone's name mid-conversation.
Oh, the classic, "I know your face, but your name has escaped me" moment. It's like my brain is a browser with too many tabs open, and one of them just crashed.
Exactly. And let's be real, in today's world, our brains are juggling more than ever. Work deadlines, social media, family obligations, and let's not even get started on the mental load of remembering passwords. It's no wonder we forget things.
Emma, you can't make this story up. This is one of those moments where you just have to laugh or cry at yourself later. Once I went to Walmart, and I've spent a good 30 minutes carefully navigating the grocery store aisles, meticulously picking out everything on every item on the list. Maybe even tossing in a few impulse buys because, hey, I deserve that fancy cheese or that extra bag of chips. My cart is full, and I was feeling pretty accomplished as I roll up to the checkout. The cashier scans everything with the efficiency of a grocery ninja, and I was mentally patting myself on the back for adulting so hard. Then comes the moment of truth. The card machine stares me down, demanding my PIN. I confidently tap in the numbers, and it's wrong. Tried again, slower this time, thinking maybe I fat-fingered it. Nope, denied. A third attempt, still wrong. I was on full panic mode, humiliated and totally embarrassed. My brain went into a blank void limbo like it decided to take a vacation. The cashier was looking at me with a mix of pity and mild annoyance. The line behind me is growing, and I am just standing there like, who am I? What is this number I've apparently used 1,000 times before? At this point, I had only two options: admit defeat and call my bank in the middle of the store, or just walk away. And I chose the latter. I mutter something like, I'll be back, abandoned my cart, and make a beeline for the exit, leaving behind my perfect dream of that well-stocked fridge.
Oh, Dave, but here's the thing. Forgetting isn't just about being scatterbrained, it's a survival mechanism. Our brains are wired to prioritize what's important and let go of the rest. The problem is, sometimes it lets go of things we really need to remember.
Like that time I forgot my wife's favorite coffee order and brought her a black coffee instead of her usual oat milk latte. She looked at me like I'd betrayed her.
Ouch. But let's make this relatable. Imagine you're at a coffee shop and someone waves at you. You wave back, but inside, you're panicking because you have no idea who they are.
Been there. My go-to move is to just say, "Hey, you," and hope they don't notice I'm avoiding their name.
Smooth, Dave. Real smooth. But let's make this even more real. Picture this. Dave runs into an old acquaintance at the gym.
Emma, that was painfully accurate. But let's break it down. Did you catch that phrase, "slipped my mind"? It's a polite way to say, I forgot.
So, Dave, You're at the gym, mid-squat, and suddenly someone taps you on the shoulder. You turn around and it's someone you definitely know. But who? Your brain is scrambling. Do you go with the safe, "Hey, how's it going?" Or do you risk it and try to recall their name?
Oh, I've been in that exact situation. I usually go with the classic, "Hey, long time no see," while frantically searching my mental Rolodex. But here's the kicker. What if they start asking you questions about your life and you're still stuck on, "Who are you?"
Right. Like, they'll say, "How's your dog, Max?" And you're thinking, "Wait, do I even have a dog named Max?" Meanwhile, you're nodding along like, "Oh, Max is great. Thanks for asking." It's a minefield of awkwardness.
And let's not forget the ultimate gym faux pas, when you forget someone's name and you're both wearing headphones. So you're shouting, "Hey, good to see you," over the sound of blasting music, and everyone in the gym is staring at you like you're insane.
Oh, the gym is a breeding ground for memory fails. Like when you forget your locker combination and have to sheepishly ask the front desk for help. Or when you forget your water bottle and have to awkwardly drink from the gym's water fountain like a dehydrated animal.
Or when you forget your workout routine and just stand there staring at the weights, pretending to strategize. Meanwhile, you're actually thinking, what was I supposed to do today? Leg day? Arm day? Existential crisis day?
Existential crisis day is every day, Dave. But let's talk about the science of forgetting for a second. Did you know that forgetting is actually a sign of a healthy brain? It's called cognitive pruning. Your brain gets rid of unnecessary information to make room for what's important.
So you're saying when I forget my mom's birthday, it's not because I'm a terrible son, it's because my brain is just decluttering?
Exactly. But here's the catch. Your brain doesn't always know what's important. So, it might decide to forget your mom's birthday, but remember the theme song to a TV show you haven't watched since 2003.
That explains why I can't remember where I put my keys, but I can recite every line from The Office. Identity theft is not a joke, Jim.
Classic. But let's get back to the gym scenario. What's your strategy for recovering when you realize you've forgotten someone's name?
Oh, I have a whole playbook. Option 1. I introduce them to someone else and hope they say their own name. Like, "Hey, have you met my friend Emma?" And then Emma says, "Hi, I'm Emma." And the person goes, "Hi, I'm Sarah." Boom. Problem solved.
Clever. But what if you're alone? No Emma to save you?
Then I go with option 2. I ask for their contact info. "Hey, let's stay in touch. What's your number?" And when they text me, their name magically appears on my phone. It's like a cheat code for forgetting.
Genius. But what if you're really in a pinch and none of those tricks work?
Option 3. I just come clean. "I'm so sorry. I'm terrible with names. Remind me again?" Most people are understanding. And if they're not, well, maybe they're not worth remembering.
That's actually great advice. Sometimes honesty is the best policy. And let's be real, we've all been on the other side of it. Someone forgets our name and we're like, "It's okay. I forget my own name sometimes."
Exactly. Forgetting is universal. It's the great equalizer. Whether you're a CEO or a college student, we all have those moments where our brains just nope out.
So let's embrace it. Let's laugh at ourselves, share our stories, and maybe even learn a few tricks to recover gracefully. Because at the end of the day, life's too short to stress over the things we forget. It's the things we remember and the people we remember them with that really matter.
Well said, Emma. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go set a reminder for my mom's birthday, just in case.
Okay, Dave. Keep the reminder, Dave, so next time you won't forget her birthday. Now, let's take a quick detour and talk about some of the more sophisticated words we've used in this podcast. You know, for our listeners who might be thinking, wait, what does that mean?
Oh, you mean like when you dropped the term cognitive pruning earlier? Yeah, I was nodding along, but I'll admit I had to Google that one later.
Haha. Fair enough. Let's break it down. Cognitive pruning is basically your brain's way of cleaning house. It gets rid of old or unnecessary information to make space for new, important stuff. Think of it like deleting old photos from your phone to free up storage.
Oh, so that's why I can't remember where I put my keys, but I can still sing every word of Baby Shark? My brain decided the keys weren't worth keeping?
Exactly. Your brain's like, keys? Meh. But baby shark? That's essential survival information.
Got it. Okay, what about faux pas? You use that one too. I've heard it before, but I'm not entirely sure what it means.
Great question. Faux pas is a French term that means a social blunder or an embarrassing mistake, like when you accidentally call your teacher mom in front of the whole class.
Oh, I've definitely done that. Or when you wave back at someone, only to realize they were waving at the person behind you. That's a major faux pas.
Exactly. It's those little moments where you wish the ground would just swallow you whole.
Speaking of swallowing me whole, what about existential crisis? You threw that one in there, and I was like, wait, is that when you forget your coffee order or...
Not quite. An existential crisis is when you start questioning the meaning of life, your purpose, or why you're even doing what you're doing. Like when you're at work, staring at your computer, and suddenly think, why am I here? What does it all mean?
Oh, so like when I'm at the gym, holding a dumbbell, and I'm like, why am I even lifting this? Who am I? What is gravity?
Yes, Dave, that's an existential crisis.
Got it. Okay, last one. Mental Rolodex. I know what mental means, but what's a Rolodex?
Ah, the Rolodex. It's an old school tool people used to store contact information. It's like a rotating file of cards with names and numbers. So, when I said mental Rolodex, I meant the imaginary filing system in your brain where you store names and faces.
Oh, so when my mental Rolodex crashes, that's when I'm like, hey, you.
Exactly. Your mental Rolodex is spinning, but the card you need is missing.
Well, my mental Rolodex is basically a dumpster fire at this point, but at least now I know what to call it. Thanks, Emma.
All right, Dave. Now that we've decoded some of those fancy words, let's keep this train moving. We've talked about forgetting names, gym faux pas, and existential crises. But let's dive into something even more relatable. Why we forget things in the first place.
Oh, I've got theories. Like maybe my brain is just too full of memes and cat videos to remember anything important.
Ha ha! That's not far off, actually. Scientists say our brains are like a computer with limited storage. When we overload it with information, like endless memes, to-do lists, and random trivia, something's gotta give.
So, you're saying my brain is basically a laptop with 2 gigabytes of RAM, trying to run 50 Chrome tabs at once?
Exactly. And just like your laptop, your brain starts lagging. That's why you forget where you put your phone or why you walked into a room. It's not that you're scatterbrained, it's that your brain is prioritizing.
Prioritizing what, though? Because it sure doesn't feel like it's prioritizing my grocery list or my anniversary.
Good point. Your brain prioritizes what it thinks is emotionally significant. That's why you remember your first kiss or that embarrassing thing you did in middle school, but you forget your Wi-Fi password.
Oh, so my brain's like, anniversary? Meh. But that time you tripped in front of your crush in 8th grade? Let's keep that forever.
Haha, pretty much. But here's the thing. You can actually train your brain to remember the important stuff. It's all about creating strong associations.
Associations like, if I want to remember my wife's coffee order, I should picture her holding a giant oat milk latte while riding a unicorn?
Sure, if that works for you. The weirder the mental image, the better. Your brain loves novelty. So, if you want to remember someone's name, try linking it to something unusual. Like if you meet someone named Rose, picture them holding a bouquet of roses while wearing a crown of thorns.
Got it. So, next time I meet someone named Dave, I'll picture them as me. Wait, that might get confusing.
Maybe tweak that strategy a bit. But the point is, your brain is more likely to remember things if they're tied to strong visuals or emotions.
Okay, but what about when you forget something in the moment? Like you're giving a presentation and suddenly your mind goes blank. What do you do then?
The dreaded brain freeze. First, don't panic. Take a deep breath and buy yourself a few seconds. You can say something like, "Let me circle back to that," or "That's a great question. Let me gather my thoughts."
Or you could just say, next slide, and hope no one notices.
Not the most graceful recovery, but it works in a pinch. The key is to stay calm. Stress makes it harder to remember things, so the more you panic, the worse it gets.
So if I forget my wedding vows, I should just take a deep breath and say, let me circle back to that.
Maybe practice a bit more before the big day, Dave. But seriously, forgetting is part of being human. It's how we handle it that matters.
True. And hey, if all else fails, there's always Google.
Or a good old-fashioned sticky note. Sometimes low-tech solutions are the best.
Sticky notes? You mean those things I stick everywhere and then immediately forget to look at?
Haha. Okay, maybe not the sticky notes. But my point is, there are tools and tricks to help us remember. And when we do forget, it's okay to laugh at ourselves and move on.
Agreed. Life's too short to stress over the things we forget. Besides, the best stories usually come from those awkward memory fails.
Exactly. So, let's keep embracing the art of forgetting, and maybe even get better at the art of remembering along the way.
Sounds like a plan. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go set a reminder to remember this conversation.
Good call, Dave. Good call. And for our listeners, we'd love to hear your stories of memory fails and how you recovered. Share them with us using the hashtag #ArtOfForgetting, and we might feature them in our next episode.
Until then, keep laughing at life's little blunders. And maybe write down your Wi-Fi password somewhere safe.
See you next time.